Hi guys, welcome back to another video. What we are doing today is we are gonna rank all the devil fruits in blox fruits update 17.3. So so we're gonna do that today. And one thing before we start the video, I'm gonna take in PvE and PvP, and also the ranks are ordered. So if I for instance put like I said, barrier over sand, that means I think barrier is better than sand. But yeah, let's get right into the video. But before we start, I'm gonna ask you to like and subscribe. You don't need to, but it will make me happy. So yeah, let's get into the tier list. And I'm gonna do all the awakening at last. So let's begin with barrier. I think barriers PvE wise, it's pretty bad because yeah, in PvE you really need a Logia or Buddha. But for PvP it's meh. So I'm gonna put it in C tier. Alright, Unawakened Sand. Unawakened Sand is decent. Like I used it for like most of the time that I was in first C. I'm currently in second C, so I don't know. I haven't used Dragon and all that kind of stuff, but I know how they work. So, but I think PvE wise it's pretty good because it's a Logia. And in first C and in second C you don't see don't see many people with hockey, so I think B tier. Alright, this is Unawakened Buddha. Unawakened Buddha is actually pretty good. Because the larger hitbox if you're transformed, and I mean the moves self are not really good, but just purely the shift, so I'm gonna put it in A tier. What's this? Oh, this is Paw. Alright, I think Paw fruit PvE wise it's pretty bad. Because it isn't a Logia, but you don't necessarily have to be a Logia, but PvP wise it's decent at best, so I'm gonna put it a B tier above the sand here. Alright, Bomb. Bomb got a buff, I think. Yeah, I got a buff. I checked out all the new moves and it's actually pretty good. I really like the landmines move, but I don't know if other people can see the landmines. I don't think so. But I really like the monk fruit, but it isn't the best, so I'm thinking a high D or a low C. I think I'm gonna put it in high D. It's pretty good. Alright, so I'm gonna Chop now. Chop's actually pretty good for PvP because you're immune to swords. And it's got a flight move, but PvE wise, I don't think it's too great because I mean, you don't see a lot of NPCs that use swords, but I think I'm gonna have to put it in a C tier. Yeah. Alright, so we're now gonna move on to control. I think if you're good with control is actually god tier fruit. But PvE wise it's not really good, but PvP it can be very destructive, especially if you're good with it. Sorry, English hard. Um, So I think I'm gonna put control in the kind of a high B, low A, high B, I think. Yeah. Alright, so we're gonna talk about Dark. Dark got reworked in the update, I think. Most of fruits got reworked, but I really like Dark fruit because, yeah, it's just a good. I don't know if it's a Logia or a Paramecia in the game, but I think it's a Logia. But I'm gonna put Unawakened Dark in B tier, above Sand. No, above Ball. Alright, Diamond. Diamond is actually pretty bad. Look, if you are using Diamond, you just wanted a good defense type fruit, but you're too poor to get Buddha. And I mean, people are getting faster in this game, and the faster people get, the worse Diamond get. So I think I'm gonna put it above Barrier. Door. This might be a hot take, but Door is D tier. For PvE, it's actually pretty crap. I mean, it's good for traversing the map, but it doesn't do like no damage. I mean, you could kill someone faster with combat than Door. So I'm gonna put it in D tier. For PvP, it's also pretty bad. I mean, if you're a runner, it's good, but if you're a runner, I want to kill you. So, alright, moving on to dough. This is unawakened dough. Unawakened dough is so great. It's actually one of the best fruits in the game, even if it's unawakened. Because you have to like move where you grab onto people and you slam them into the ground, which is good. And you have the roller donut. So I'm gonna put it in S tier. Dragon. Dragon for PvP, it's pretty good, but for PvE, especially if you're in first sea, it's actually pretty bad because it's not a Logia, it has really high mastery requirements. And for first sea, that's actually pretty, what do you call it? It's pretty hard to get a lot of mastery. So taking all of that into account, I'm gonna put it in S tier, but like low S. Falcon is pretty bad. C tier, because I mean you have a flight move, but most fruits have a flight move, and especially the moves are hard to land. They don't do a lot of damage, but I mean it has some sort of mobility, so that's good, I guess. Alright, we're moving on to Flame. PvE wise, Flame's magnificent because it got a rework, so that's also good. It is so good, even if it's unawakened, for grinding and stuff. So I think I'm gonna put Flame in high B, because I mean, or low A. I think high B. Gravity is pretty bad because the moves have really long cooldowns, and it's just a really bad fruit and all. I'm gonna put it in D tier, not a big fan. And also this is my personal opinion, so this is not a competitive opinion, but moving on to ice. I really found it weird that they removed the what do you call it, mobility move of ice, because that was the good thing about ice. But ice is still really good. The ice bird is good to freeze people, but ice bird is really hard to land. And if people get close, you can like step on the ground and make a big ice shard. And they, instead of a sword, they made it like a kind of trident, so that's cool. I think I'm gonna put ice in B. I know I'm putting a lot of fruits in the B tier, but that's just because they're not awakened. Kilo is pretty bad, it's D tier, lowest D tier. Literally the only thing that you can do is float up, go down, but by the time that you are down, it's just they're away. So skipping leopard, because that's gonna be the last of all these fruits. Alright, moving on to light. PvE wise, light is actually really good. And also for PvP, it's pretty good because I mean, you have high mobility, especially with the light flight, and the moves are really fast, so they're pretty hard to dodge. And for PvE wise, if it was a PvE tier list, it would be like S tier, but I'm gonna put it low A tier. Love is actually not that good because the moves don't do a lot of damage, and yeah, I've never used love, and I've also never really watched videos on it, but I'm assuming that, I mean, I know what all the moves are, but I think I'm gonna put it in C tier. Magma, unawakened magma is pretty good. I used it to get to when I was 3/4 of the way from first sea. I got it and I used it and it was pretty good. So unawakened magma, I think it's gonna be under light because PvE wise it's a Logia, it's pretty good. So Rumble. Rumble is like one of those fruits. It's a good fruit, but you never see anyone use it. So I can't really base them off of those things because I never see them. I don't know if it's a Logia fruit, so I think it's a Paramecia. So I think I'm going to put Rumble in A tier. Alright, Phoenix, Bird Phoenix. Unawakened Phoenix is really good, even though it's unawakened. Yeah, you have a lot of mobility with the full bird Phoenix, and you have the hybrid flight if you don't want to be full Phoenix, and you have the healing move, which is also pretty good. But most Phoenix users are just run type. But if you're actually a PvP user, you're pretty good. So I'm gonna put it above Magma. And forgot to say it, I think. This is my personal opinion, so it's not like PvP or what I'm saying. It's not like it's like purely top. Today it's really hard to speak for me, but it's not like it's my personal opinion. So if I, for instance, put Shadow in D, that's because it's my opinion. Alright, so Quake. Unawakened Quake, it's not that good because you have to stay still in all positions. Because all the moves you have to stay still for like a second, and if the opponent is fast, they can catch you really hard. So I'm gonna put Unawakened Quake in B tier, like mid B tier. Revive. Revive is meh. I think it's, for PvE wise, it's not that good because, well, it's not Logia. You only have 2 moves that can actually damage the opponents. And the first move is pretty hard to land if it's PvP. And the second move really relies on opponents or you getting close to opponents or opponents getting close to you. But the resurrection is pretty good. If it didn't have resurrection, it would be like kind of here. But I'm gonna put it top of C tier. Rubber got a buff, and Rubber now also has an M1, so that's actually pretty good. And the gear second is just amazing. You get faster attacks and more damaging attacks. So Rubber is gonna be. I hear a lot of people shitting on Rubber before the update, but now Rubber is, I think, an A tier. Shadow Fruit. I have never really seen or used the Shadow Fruit. So I'm gonna make my personal assumption. I have seen one video of it, and in that video it seemed pretty decent, so I'm gonna put it right here. And also I'm gonna put the Phoenix above Rumble. Smoke got a big buff, and it's really well for Smoke, because first it was just really bad, but now you have the Smoke Bomber, which is like the F move, which is mobility and it drops smoke bombs. And the Smoke Slam is also pretty good. So I think I'm gonna put Smoke at here, yes, here. Soul is actually pretty good because you have, if you have the Soul Snatcher ability, which you can like snatch people's souls, and you can put down kind of plants. I mean, one grabs them, the kind of tree, one heals you, and one, I think, poisons the opponent. So I'm gonna put Soul at S tier. My personal opinion is Soul is better than Dragon. Right, Spike got a big buff, and I also used it because, well, Spike got a big buff, and I also used it, and I think it's pretty good because now you have the whole Z, which can, if you group up opponents for PvE, you can have like this big area effect, and you can hit them all. But I personally like the old Z move better than the new Z move. And the ball is, I don't think the ball changed anything but visuals, so I'm gonna put it above Bird Falcon. Spin is pretty bad. Like, I also used it, so Spin is probably like under Door, because I mean you have one rotation move, but the moves are so slow to land, and it's just, I mean the spinning bomber is good, but that's the only good thing. Right, Spring got just, I don't know if Spring got reworked, but what I'm assuming it didn't, so I'm gonna put Spring in D tier, or C tier. I'm not putting it in D tier because you have higher mobility with the F move, and you have good damage with the what do you call it? The V move. This is Unawakened String. Unawakened String is actually pretty bad because all the moves, they don't do really much. They don't do much amount of damage, and it's just pretty crappy. So I think I'm gonna put string in B tier. Yeah, it's Venom. Venom is really good because you have the Serpent's Wrath. You can just keep poisoning the opponents, and with most moves, you poison the opponents, which is like overtime damage. And most of the moves also leave poison behind. So poison is S tier. In my opinion, above though. Leopard. Leopard is a really good fruit. It is kind of hard to get mastery up, but because it have really high mastery requirements. But I think leopard is really good. Because if with the transformation, if you have mink or you have a hat that can make you faster, you are just Usain Bolt. So yeah. Alright, awakened flame. Awakened flame is actually pretty decent because what is double paw doing here? Alright, I'm just gonna ignore it. Awakened flame is actually pretty good because it's good for grinding. And if you are on mobile, it's a pretty spammy fruit. So if you're on mobile, that's pretty good. So I think I'm gonna put it in here. Yeah. Awakened Dark. Awakened Dark is pretty good, especially if you're a bounty hunter. I see like a lot of Awakened Dark in the 2nd and 3rd sea, like being bounty hunters. So I'm gonna put this here. Yeah. Awakened Ice. I don't really know how Awakened Ice works, but I'm just gonna assume that it's a good fruit because yeah, it's ice. So I'm gonna put Awakened Ice in here. Awakened what am I saying? Not Awakened Rumble. Awakened Quake. Awakened Quake is pretty good because now you don't have to have to stand still for all the moves to actually work, because the Z move is like a kind of grab, and the C move, the X move has a way bigger AoE, and the C move is also a bigger AoE, so people don't want to get close to you because it has such a big AoE. So you can, in the V move, it just spawns more tornadoes. So, but for PvE, it's pretty bad. So I'm gonna put it here. Yeah. Awakened Rumble. This is also another thing with the original Rumble. I don't see anyone using it, so I think I'm just gonna assume that it's above normal Rumble. So Awakened Light. Awakened Light is, it's like a better version of Light, but it's not that much better in my opinion. So I'm gonna put it at top of A tier. Awakened Sand. Awakened Sand is actually pretty good. This may be an S tier because the skills do very high damage and they're all either a very big AoE or they're grab moves. So I think Awakened Sand is low S. Awakened Magma. I hate Awakened Magma, to face it, but Awakened Magma is actually pretty good. I think I'm gonna put it here. Yeah, because I mean the moves do take a long time to come out. So yeah, Awakened Buddha. Awakened Buddha is like, I think it's kind of here, because it doesn't matter if you're melee, sword, blox producer, Buddha has it all. Because you can just put tons of shit in your sword, you can just transform as Buddha, you can just slap people from a million miles away because the hitbox is so big. So Awakened Phoenix, I would think Awakened Phoenix is high A or low S. I think low S. And also one thing, you see that there aren't very many bottom tiers and there are very large amounts of top tiers, so that just shows how balanced this game is. Awakened String. Awakened String is pretty good because, oh, and also let me do Paw Above Dark. Awakened String is actually pretty good because the moves have bigger AoEs, and it's just in general it's a better fruit. So I think I'm gonna put it in between the Rumbles. Awakened Doe is I think, better than leopard, because the moves have such a big AoE. The fried dough is just, it's just the original fried dough but on steroids. You have that one move where you swing your arm around like you're fucking Hulk, but it's 50 meters of AoE. Oh, sorry, 50 million meters. And that's just really good. So yeah, Awakened Dough is the top of S tier. So yeah, that was the Blox Fruits tier list. If you guys don't agree, comment me down, or comment just down below. And if you guys want to see other videos of me, great, also comment it, because I always stand open for ideas, and I don't have many ideas for videos because yeah, I'm also really busy with school and such. But yeah, that was it for this video. So see you guys in the next video. Bye.